Hi, and welcome back to Carrie and Christian Roam the Globe. Today we're coming to you from Ferragudo, just across the river from Portimão.
Yes, and to get here we walked about 10,000 steps already, but we heard that Ferragudo is a nice, small, quaint, colorful fishing town, so we came to check it out today to see if this hidden gem is worth checking out. So we'll let you know at the end of the video.
We are accessing Ferragudo from the new Portimão Bridge that connects the two cities and is a little less than a half a mile to cross.
In case you're lost, this is no longer Portimão. We are leaving Portimão and entering Ferragudo.
Apparently, to get to Ferragudo, all you have to do is follow the yellow brick road. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. It's a couple of miles into the town of Ferragudo, in which you'll pass some businesses, grocery stores, and then you'll notice typical housing like you see here, all with sidewalks for easy walking. And while of course you'll see cars and bikes along the road, you'll see many people on foot, like us, as this takes you right into the town square of Ferragudo. Ferragudo is a beautiful town in the Algarve, and we found its charm and history are linked to its location on the Arade River that you see here. More about that soon.
Upon entering the town square, you'll see tons of restaurants, which we'll cover soon. But as we made our way to find those colorful streets, we passed a restaurant called O Baril. We're here on a Saturday, and they had quite the music going on with the draw of the restaurant hidden in the alley in the back of the town square, which really felt quite quaint and authentic both outside and inside. We also heard they have live music, and apparently they've got fado music a couple times a week as well. As we continued our quest to find those colorful streets, we of course had many stairs to climb, most of which were not the same size, so if you come, make sure you wear good shoes and watch that step. And atop the climb, you'll find one of the spots for the colorful houses we'd heard about. The bright yellow, vibrant blue, many colors that line the streets, and just that popping color of bougainvillea everywhere. It's hard to describe, but quite the beautiful sight. With the sun shining down, you just get a sense of awe in how charming and calming it is. We also noticed the streets are quite wide, nice, and clean. It's such great architecture, skill, and craft that you can tell went into these buildings.
As we continued our walk, we found this little cafe. If you turn to the left, you'll find what we think is the best street for colorful housing, called Rua Dr. Luiz Antonio dos Santos.
On this street, the houses were largely occupied by fishermen who worked in the village. Now you may know that the white coloring is to keep the heat out and the house cool, but the bright colors have been said to create a lively atmosphere and express personal and community pride. And also for easy identification that help the fishermen and residents find their homes. Bougainvillea also is abundant here because of the ideal climate for growing it in the Algarve, and you'll see just about every color burst. You've got magenta, red, yellow, orange, white. It's just so beautiful. It's really easy to just wander through the streets and get lost because you're so looking at the color, the paintings, the tiles, and the architecture, and before you know it, the streets all lead somewhere different.
This particular wandering session led us to some larger homes and piqued Carrie's interest when she saw a fruit tree.
Oh, I wonder what kind of tree this is. Is this orange lemon?
Don't pick it.
I'm not.
Oranges or lemon? Oranges, I think.
Oh, there's one already here.
Nope.
I think it's an orange. So this is what happens when we get lost. Christian I pull up my phone. Christian very briefly looks at the phone. And in like 3 minutes, he's like, okay, here's your phone back. Now I know where we're going.
Follow me.
Back on track and needing to repent from wanting to take the fruit from the tree, we headed straight to the cathedral. It's called Igreja de Nossa Senhora de Conceção. I probably butchered that, but what that means is Our Lady of the Conception Church. It sits at the top of the hill, and while it needed to be rebuilt after the Lisbon earthquake of 1755, its interior is really special because it still preserves a few pieces of sacred art that survived the earthquake. Unfortunately, we didn't get to go in, but it was very pretty to admire from the outside. Downhill from the church, we found these gated homes that lined the street directly across from the water with the great view that you see here. And it's cool because you can see Portimão as well as the fort of Santa Catarina, which, fun fact, worked in conjunction with this fort on Ferragudo, which we'll go to next.
Fort Sao João do Arade is close to the public because it is now a private home. However, if you want to see views of the original fortress area, you can find those by taking steps down to the beach and walking to your right. The fort is built on a high point of rocky land separating Praia Grande and Praia de Angrinha. The high position gives it a dominant view over the Arade River mouth. Its most visible feature is the multi-tiered defensive structure with battlements and cannons. Together with the fort of Santa Catarina on the waterfront of Portimão, the fort guards the estuary and mouth of the river, effectively forming a gate to protect inland cities, especially the capital of Silves. In 1896, the fort was decommissioned and sold at public auction.
After our beach and castle visit, we made our way down to Town Square again, which required more steps and wandering through those quaint cobblestone streets where we found more shops selling a variety of things from souvenirs, we found little markets, we found outside pubs and cafes. All were very nice to take in at your leisure with no pressure and friendly locals welcoming you in. Back in town, the restaurants were gearing up for the lunchtime crowd, and here you could get just about anything your hearts desired. They also had live music on perhaps the tiniest keyboard we've ever seen. It was a lively atmosphere where you can easily imagine spending an hour or two.
We wanted to see a bit more, so we took a peek around the corner and found traps that fishermen use to get the catch of the day, similar in size to lobster traps that we use in the United States. And then we stumbled upon two restaurants that we heard about. Bordeaux du Caiche, which has plenty of outside seating so you can enjoy the views of the river. We got distracted by the great smell of grilled fish, and this guy was just outside in the street preparing grilled sardines and another fish for somebody. And the second restaurant is Swesti, located towards the end of the pier.
And as we headed back to Town Square, we went down yet another street filled with character in both people, decor, and in architecture. Many eateries lined the streets, and something unique to this particular alley was the hanging of shoes from side to side. Not pairs, just random shoes that we thought was quite unique. And as you're walking down it, it was a bit easy to miss as you're busy looking from side to side and in front of you, but we thought it was interesting and not really sure of the significance of the shoes. So if you know, let us know the significance in the comments. After our exploration and in true form, we wanted to go a little bit off the beaten path. And as we did, we got lucky and found this brunch spot called Brunch in Rio. It was really cute, had super good food. We each got a toasty and decided to share so we could have try a little bit of each other's. And we will for sure be making this on our own for breakfast in the future.
Okay, so we've just spent a little over a half a day in the town of Ferragudo. And at the beginning of the video, we said, is it a hidden gem worth visiting? So Christian, what would you say?
I enjoyed it. Nice walk over here from where we're staying in Praia de Rocha. It took us through walking over here, walking around. We went down to the beach and to the fort that's over here, walked around up in the hills, saw the cathedral, all of that. We've got about 15,000 steps right now, and I think it's a fun little half day. What did you think?
Yes, fun half day for sure. Lots of streets that you can wander in and get lost. The streets are wide. The cobblestones, I think, are wider, so it just feels more quaint, I think. And the colors on the houses are really cool, too, from the fisherman village. So 100%, put it on your list. Come visit.
And
Until next time.